Γεια σας στα ελληνικά. Hi, this is our English. It can get better. Καλύτερα γίνεται in English. And let me turn that thing on. Let's go live on YouTube. Hopefully it will work better than yesterday. And I will be waiting for Gina. So let me introduce you to Gina. I promise you Gina's going to be here tonight with us. So I don't know if you know Gina Devee. And I'm waiting for her to join us. So I hope she will make it. Right? Hi. Please do write where you're joining us from. And let me tell you a little bit about Gina Devee. If you're not following her, I recommend very strongly that you do follow her. I recommend very strongly that you do buy her new book, The Audacity to be Queen. And if you can't hear me or you can't see me, please put it on the comments. I can see you guys. There, Gina is here. And I was just about to introduce her. So let me just take this off. And hopefully she will join us in a second. So, hey!
Hello, beautiful!
Oh my God, how are you? I'm so happy we made it. Internet
yes!
Have you with me. That's so great. I was just about to give a short introduction and I was talking about your book, The Audacity to be Queen. And bravo, yes, you know it. I've been sharing it everywhere. I've been prescribing it everywhere. So I'm so happy you can join us. And the short introduction I wanted to make about you is beyond the obvious things that everybody can find about you in the internet. I think that you're an amazing entrepreneur because everybody can see the coaching thing. Everybody can see how inspiring you are and what you've accomplished through divine living, through your retreats, through your programs, and through all the amazing work we've been doing all this year. You're also an author now, an international author. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. But I want to also stress that you are an entrepreneur. You're an amazing entrepreneur. You're self-made. Totally self-made. I see Kendall is posting divineliving.com/book. Guys, go there, have a look, order it now. You're going to get a bunch of amazing free stuff. And I really am so happy you made the time because I think a lot of people are now wondering, like, what? I mean, the world is falling apart. I'm going to do the queen thing. And what is this queen thing? And I think that now more than ever, we need that. So tell me, what is this queenhood thing about you?
Oh, Nancy, it's so good to be with you. And I think back to our time in Athens last summer, and it's like, you know, how quickly so much has changed. And at the same time, you know, we know that there are people suffering, and we are so grateful to the doctors and nurses who are on the front lines. And we know that there are families who have lost their loved ones. And our heart certainly breaks globally for those people in those circumstances. And that is not everyone's experience. We can have empathy and compassion and awareness about what is happening for certain people in the world. And one of the things that I write about in the book is we all have a divine assignment. And, you know, my current divine assignment, and for most of my clients, the divine assignment is not to shut down, to be in fear, and not continue to move forward, manifesting your most fabulous life. And clearly the same seems to be going for you. I mean, leave it to you, stronger than ever, more visible than ever, like, you know, connecting women like us, doing positive programming. I just saw like a bunch of my clients, you know, from the States and Canada come in, you know, it's like, yeah, so, I mean, oh, Kendall!
Yes, she's here.
Yeah, great. And so, you know, I believe that this is our job as queens right now, to be the voice of light, to be the voice of love, to be the face of positivity. And this is so much of what the book about being queen is about, that we have a choice to be a queen, Or I write about a lot of different archetypes. We have a choice to be the martyr, the victim, the little Miss Perfect, the paranoid gangster. That's one of my favorites.
What is the paranoid gangster? Is it
the paranoid gangster? It's like, you know, it's the one that's like assuming the worst and is paranoid and then goes out to lash out and judge or rage. You know, so I tell kind of a funny and humbling story in the book about when I turned into the paranoid gangster, or the paranoid gangster took me over. But what I teach in the book and what is so important and so much about the work that you do is we always have a choice to be the best version of ourselves, to show up, to push our shoulders back, and to choose love. Because, you know, it's like the truth is, whatever you believe in, God's spirit, universe, is bigger than the coronavirus. The coronavirus is not the biggest thing in the world, that love is still bigger. And that's where we have to put our faith and our focus.
I so agree with you. I so agree with you. And I'm speaking, I'm doing a lot of live things. I'm going live every day, as you've seen. I'm doing a lot of things with big corporations nowadays. And the biggest blockage that people seem to have is that because this is happening, I have to belittle myself. I have to put my goals and my dreams on hold until something else comes along, or until we can be not locked down anymore and everything. And that, to me, is the opposite of being the queen of your life.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you hear that from men and women, or just women?
Well, mostly women. Good question.
Right? That's when this first broke, women are like, oh, I feel guilty, I shouldn't sell. And I was like, says who? You know, if you're a business owner, if you got a book that's going to be bring positivity in the world more than ever, I'm like, I follow spiritual guidance. I did not hear God tell me, shut your business down, don't sell. That wasn't my divine assignment. The opposite, like that, like just like you, getting out there even more, promoting, not just for financial gain, but because I know that when people consume what I have to offer, it's going to uplift their life. It's going to benefit their life. You know, any of my business programs are going to help them make money and start businesses, because people need money right now. And it's people like us that are keeping the global economy going. So no, I mean, I've done additional things for free.
Exactly.
You know, I've offered a free course. We're donating a portion of proceeds to a charity. Like, we're doing additional things, but my business is not shut down at all.
And that's great, because I think, especially in our line of business, this is when people need us most. This is when people, and I think I was talking this morning to about 100 women entrepreneurs, and they were all saying that they're a bit hesitant in calling the clients and telling them that they're still around. And really, I was just urging them to just get out there, because, and my main argument was, what if you call this customer 1 month later, and, you know, then you feel like this whole horrible thing is gone away, so you can talk to your customer, and you call her and she tells you, or he tells you, oh, now you remembered me? 3 days ago, my grandfather died from coronavirus. Where were you? So I think this is the time to stand by your clients and stand by your friends and everybody, not to shut down and just
100%.
So,
100%. And, you know, it's, we need to be very careful about where we're getting our information, you know, because this unnecessary guilt that predominantly women take on about, like, it's not okay, says who? Because that, to me, is the programming of Little Miss Perfect. Little Miss Perfect, that I write about in the book, is a people pleaser. And she's so afraid of offending someone else. But because she's afraid, she's getting her information from fear. Yes. And she's not thinking about love, which is the other side. Love is about how can you contribute? How can you uplift people? It feels good to purchase right now. Like, I'm looking for loungewear. Like, I mean, like, I want to buy some clothes right now. You know, like, I want, I'm purchasing people's products, because I'm, you know, so much of my business was about live events, and I'm pivoting. I'm doing more online things. I'm going to start a membership, but I'm studying this stuff. So I'm purchasing products. I'm buying loungewear, like, and it feels good, and it keeps the economy moving and growing.
No, that's fantastic. I so agree. And I wanted to call today's episode Queens in Lockdown, because you are like the queen. You're going out there and you're doing your thing, and it's fantastic. And again, for those who joined just now, because we're also live on YouTube, and unfortunately they cannot see you, but they can hear you. I'm going to post the whole thing later. But do
Great.
go and and look for Gina. It's Gina Devee. Find her books, find her offerings. I'm following now your fantastic eight video course that you're giving for free. And
yes,
it's fantastic. It's fabulous. I love it. I'm loving it.
Thank you. I'm happy to give the link here as well. Yes.
Yes,
this is one of the things I'm doing for free. The rest of it you got to buy. But one of the things is,
yes.
If you go to divineliving.com/audacity, that's divineliving.com/audacity, you're going to get an 8-part video course. It comes with, there's live calls with me. There's a really vibrant Facebook group with women from all over the world. There's
great.
workbooks and templates. So it is completely free. It is a companion course to the book. So if you want to get the book, because it will make a little more sense, but you don't have to. The course is completely for free.
Yes,
and
you have to. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just such a joy, I think, for all of us to learn how to pivot, be more creative, more resourceful, and use this as the opportunity that it's meant to be, not just for financial gain, but for all of us to be more creative, to come closer together, and to be more generous as well.
Yes, and I'm thinking what we were discussing today with this particular group of people. We're discussing about all the opportunities, and it's a little bit of a cliche, you know, in every crisis there is an opportunity, but then it is a cliche if you choose to see it as a cliche. It's not a cliche if you choose to see it as a question of what can I do different. And my idea was that, you know, the Trojan War and Odyssey and everything. Well, this whole thing would have happened if Odysseus, he stood outside the Trojan town, you know, the big walls, and he never thought of a Trojan horse. So for me, it's the time for all of us to go back and find, not for a bad purpose, to conquer something, but find a Trojan horse that will conquer and will get into our minds, that will get us to do something different and break these big walls and put us out there. And yes, make money. There is a big taboo about making money, especially amongst women. And
well, we're busting that up, aren't we, Nancy? We don't believe that.
Well, yep, you are doing a fantastic job around the globe with that, and I love you for that, because I think it's time that women stopped with this. I mean, coronavirus, the pandemic, no, it's the last that we know of. The first that we know of is guilt. We're all running around being so guilty. So
I mean, can you imagine? You've met my husband. Can you imagine Glenn, like king of a man, like, I feel guilty for making money. Like, I feel like you would just laugh if you can't even imagine. It's true. You know, men saying that. And so women, free yourselves. That's so much why I wrote this book. You know, give yourself permission to do life on your terms and to do what's right for you. If it's right for you to do something for free right now in contribution, beautiful. A lot of us are doing that. But one of the feminine principles is to take a stand for the and. You know, the masculine thinks in either or. And so many women are in their masculine mindset. They think either people are going to like me or they're not going to like me, or it's okay to make money or it's not okay to make money. Or I have to do something for free, but the stand for the and is the feminine, where do something for free and sell whatever your products or services are and make money and be of service, support yourself and support the world.
And this is why I wanted to introduce you as an entrepreneur, because I think this is the entrepreneurial mindset that we need to have. And it could be in a big business and it could be in a small business. It doesn't matter. You could be a solopreneur. It's still relevant. And also, I see the big corporations, like I've got clients that are all over the world. That's how they think. You know, the Coca-Colas and the Vodafones and the Wins and everybody, they don't sit back and say, oh my God, let's give, now that everybody needs internet, let's give it to them for free. Let's give the calls away for free. Nobody does that, and it makes sense. because then we would expect everything for free. And then we go to this righteousness path. Like I'm supposed to have everything for free. And I don't believe that. I think I'm supposed to have a great deal of things, but I'm also supposed to go and get them. You know, I don't think somebody's going to, sorry, I lost you there. You still there? Good.
Yep. Being in exchange feels good. You know, it's like breathing in and breathing out. And I think that the important thing is that people have opportunity and people have choice to create their own economy in that sense. And, you know, that's one of the blessings of living at this time on the planet, that from the comfort of our own homes or the quarantine of our own homes, that literally we're sitting around in loungewear. We have access to the global marketplace. There are so many free trainings and paid trainings on how to start a side hustle, a main business, so that nobody needs to be in fear of lack of finances. There's like, you can start your own business, join a multi-level marketing business. There's Amazon reseller businesses. Like, it's just endless what you can actually do literally from your phone at home.
Yes, I agree. What would you say? I remember from last time we met, the comment that was most resonant with my audience was when you said that I am not available. This concept of unavailability, I can't tell you how many hundreds of emails I got like, this is unavailability thing, this is fantastic. So how, because this is a big question right now, especially for people that have to work from home and have kids running around and don't have any help from grandmothers or grandfathers. We do that in Greece, but now you can't do it because you're going to kill them basically. So we don't do it anymore. So how do you put some boundaries and how do you become unavailable to all the things that are pouring onto your head?
Yes, yes. So becoming unavailable is becoming unavailable for what you don't desire is one of the most powerful gifts a woman can give to herself. And the first thing that I would say is, as a queen, take a look at what the opportunity really is of the moment. Because I know a lot of women, and particularly mothers, who I certainly bow to, especially mothers of small children. There's all this like, I gotta work, and I gotta deal with the kids, and there's this tug of war. You know, this too shall pass. And these are your children. And when are you going to have this literally this designated, isolated time again with your children? And I guess that, you know, yes, you need to do what you need to do as a businesswoman, but like, how much of an opportunity is this for you to bond with your children in a way that you might not ever have again? Like, you know, on a certain level, I hope that the world never experiences this pandemic again. But the opportunity right now, you got a couple of months here to be, I don't know, cooking recipes with your kids that you haven't, and reading books that you haven't, and playing games that you haven't. And, you know, you need to keep your business going to whatever degree you do, but you have the rest of your life to go make money in your business. Like, do what you need to. So the first thing I would say is, like, get really clear, what must you do in your business to make the amount of money that you need to have. This doesn't need to be the month you hit your financial stretch goals. And, you know, do what you need to honor the client contracts that you have, do your fulfillment. So that's one thing. I would say take the pressure off, because I know how hardworking you are. I know what an overachiever you are. And so, like, you've got time for that. So right now, really look at what's important right now to keep the business going, and then to just really enjoy the time with your children. So that's the first thing that I would say. Next is setting boundaries. Whether it's with it's like children or animals. It's like, we have a puppy right now, and Glenn, we were crate training the puppy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to, you know, compare your child to my dog.
Oh no!
Give me a moment.
To train my dog than my child. Okay. I would put my husband in the whole equation. You know, take the dog. So let's stay with the dog. Train my husband and kids. So
you know, so Oscar's being crate trained, and it's like yesterday in LA, it was cold and it was rainy, and normally we have the dogs outside, so they had to come inside, and Glenn wouldn't let him out of the cage. He's like, I don't want to deal with having to train him. And I was like, the dog can learn to sit and just stay there. And he's like, I don't want to deal with it, Gina. So I went and got Oscar out of his cage, freed him, and I had him sit next to me, and he's a puppy. So he, you know, and I was like, sit and stay. And it was like a 5-minute process, and he got it. And so I would say, you set, like, no matter how young your children are, you can set boundaries with them. You know, they can learn when quiet time is, or when mommy's having her own time, or when mommy's working. And, you know, like I said, this is a temporary time, you know, if it's whatever it is, if it's time for your husband to jump in and take over, like, set that boundary. This is your time with the child. If you put the child in front of a TV right now, like, it's okay. You know, it's a temporary amount of time. So I would say just really be focused on the present moment.
I so agree. And as a mother and puppy owner and husband owner, I so agree. I so agree. And I think it's also a very good opportunity to become the role models that we want for our kids. Because if we have to please everybody and we have to put everybody else's agenda, including our child's, above our everything else, above our own needs, I think what we're teaching them is to, you know, to put everybody else ahead, to never listen to themselves, to never set boundaries, to never say no to people. So I think it's a great opportunity to teach our kids also, you know, to teach them how to say no, how to set boundaries, how to respect somebody else, and how to ask for respect from other people. So I think the coronavirus, with the tragedies that it has pulled, but it has brought us such amazing opportunities in a personal level and in a professional level that I don't think we're going to have the chance to experience ever again. Seriously.
Right. Exactly. The entire world has become one. So the entire world is pivoting their priorities. You know, you're not alone with it. So, you know, it can feel isolated and it can feel scary, but it doesn't need to. Like, understand everybody is pivoting their professional priorities. I had a global in-person book tour planned that got canceled. You know, the second week, the week after my book came out, you know, everything went into lockdown. So I'm pivoting the priorities, and, like, look, I get to do things like this that we didn't have this planned originally. And so there's, like, online opportunities. There's different online programs that I'm working on. And the other thing that everyone gets to do is prioritize themselves. So pivot your professional priorities and prioritize time for you. And it's a very special time.
Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you something there, because people see you or see me, and we have a lot of energy, and when we're going live we put this energy out. And I honestly want to say, when your book tour, I know how hard you worked for this book and how much you love it. Weren't you bummed? Weren't you disappointed when it was canceled? Is it that easy? No,
I had a 2-step process. One, you can't write a book called The Audacity to Be Queen and have the exercises in the book that program you to know and believe in your core that everything is happening for you, not to you, and not apply it, you know? And so when I realized that my book tour was going to be canceled, I should say postponed, rescheduled, I felt like this cloud of sadness coming towards me. And I looked at it, and it's like my energy field was too strong. Like, it repelled it and it went away. Because I was like, you know what, Gina, you have a choice. You can sit there and you can be sad, or you can just, like, take the shortcut, which, like, just, okay, this is happening for me, not to me. What do I get to do? Media. I just did a television morning show in Virginia this morning from the comfort of my own home. Like, media has turned virtual, so I'm getting more media that I don't have to fly across the United States for. And I'm doing different podcasts and online Instagram lives that I wouldn't have been doing. So what am I going to get, like, depressed about that? This is a beautiful opportunity. I'm probably going to reach even more people than, like, signing books, you know, at each tour stop. So that was the first step. So I was like, okay, I got this. And then I noticed I was, like, sleeping a lot, like 10, 11 hours a night. And I was like, why am I so tired? And I realized it's because I was pushing my emotions away. And I I said, so I asked myself, what's coming up for you? And I said, you know, even though there's all these amazing online opportunities, you know, Nancy, we're extroverts and we love being in person with people. And I realized I felt sad that I didn't get to look into someone's eyes and hug them and sign their book. And I felt sad about that. So I let myself cry. And I think as a queen, we get to feel our emotions. So I felt sad, but it was like 10, 15 minutes. So I was there for myself. I felt it, but I didn't need to indulge in it. And I didn't need to make it last longer. So it was like, mostly it's happening for me, not to me. I'm good. Actually, I'm feeling a little sad, felt the sadness. And now it's like, let's seize the opportunity.
Super, super. Thank you for that. It's very powerful. I have a question.
Yes.
And it might help me. It might be a different of culture. I think there is this contradiction in the title of your book, right? Because audacity.
Tell me.
You know what I mean, right? You get it? Audacious. It has a negative connotation. You know, it's like in Greek, at least, audacious. The word it's thrasos. And that's something that sounds like, you know, you're too much. You're asking for too much. So why is it audacious to be a queen? Why is it not a privilege or an obligation for each and every one of us?
So I do think that there may be something that is missing in the translation. To say that in my interpretation in English, or in American English anyways,
in American
the audacity, it's a little bit more, I would say it's considered having a bold confidence.
Great.
So would be the translation. There's like a bold, like, you know, it's bold to position yourself as a queen, to give yourself permission to be the queen. Totally. So I think that's how I think most people in America would define that word.
This is great because I wanted to mention that because we Europeans, you know, we're more preppy and we're more reserved and we have a lot of don'ts and shouldn'ts and all
You're
that.
You're Greek. That's not even true. You're Greek. You are not conservative and reserved.
Oh my God. You cannot imagine Greeks. We are conservative. We're extroverts, but we are very conservative. We're very concerned with our image.
Not in dinner.
We do not talk about money. In Greece, it's like
that's different. Okay, I've been to your beach clubs. I've been to your dinner parties. You're not conservative.
No. When you're wearing a bikini, you can be whatever you want. Okay, I'm talking in the other life, in real life. When you go out in business, when you go about your life, when you make choices, being audacious. I like the word. And I want to take any negative connotation that anybody might have and say, take it off and throw it away and say, it takes some nerve to be a queen. Yes. It takes nerve. And it takes, if you will excuse the language, it takes, is it appropriate?
Ovaries. It takes ovaries.
Okay. Well, we're growing some of the others, but yeah. But it takes a strong gut and it takes to be, you know, it takes a lot. And if that's what we're going to call audacious, let's call it audacious. But you need a lot of that if you're going to claim your queenhood. Is that a word?
Yes. Good. It is. It's a word all throughout the book.
Fantastic. Yes. So I think we need to step above this and raise above this. Oh, is it okay to be audacious? Like, come on. It's like, just go be queen. I don't care if it's audacious or not. Just go do it. And I think that's what we're missing. And that's why I loved your book. And I've talked to my publisher. I'm waiting to hear back from him. I really, really want it to be translated in Greek. I think for all the, you know, no matter how much dancing we do on the tables in the beach bars, because this is what you're saying, I think that in Greece, we need a lot of that. I think in Greece, we're quite behind in where the woman stands. There's still a lot of people that think that, you know, it's not okay to work. A lot of moms that look at me strange at school when I say I have a lot of work and they feel, you know, pity for me. And it's okay. I'm very happy with it. But I see people just getting smaller because they don't have the nerve to just step into what they could be or what they could accomplish or everything. So
Yes.
It's
So I
great
think
to be audacious.
I'll say, yes. I'll say this in closing. And Nancy, I want to come back and play with you so much more. You're just always such a light to be around. I think that for Greeks and so many of the European cultures, go back to your roots of ancient times. Because the ancient Greeks were the ancient Greek women were very audacious. And you go back to your Greek mythology and you go back to like what the culture is actually founded upon. And there is a fierceness and there is a femininity and there is a royalty and there is a confidence and a wholeness and there's a work ethic as well. And what's happened over time is that that became an unsafe way for women to be. To work, to make money, to be in leadership, to be visible, to be too beautiful.
I'm here.
I said it's about integrating the ancient times with the new world times because of how rich your culture is, and bringing it all together.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I know you made the time, and I think everybody should make the time to just press the button and go buy Gina's book. I think this time is a perfect time for reading and for exercising, inside exercise, here mental exercise, and you know, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. It was fantastic.
Love you so much, Nancy. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for being here. Go be the queen of your life. Lots of love.
Lots of love, Gina. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.